What's up, everybody? Hello. All right, you know, the first moment that tests are handed back, what's the first thing that people ask you? You know, when the marks start coming in, they're like, what'd you get? What'd you get? Right? That's usually what people ask. Now, why are they asking? Is it just because they're wanting to know how well you've done, if you've improved on yourself? No. It's because they just want to know if they beat you or not, right? How many people can identify with what I'm talking about? It's so true. You know, for myself growing up, I didn't even consider any positions of like going out for valedictorian or going out for trying out to MC for a position or anything like that at school. You know why? Because I compared myself with so many people. I compared myself with others. And there's something about the school setting where you can't help but compare yourself with other people. And that's where I found myself. And so today, I want to talk to you about leadership in the sense of empowering yourself and enabling you to be able to be and do the best that you can and compare no more. Sometimes there's things that hold us back. Barriers that cause us not even to think about that idea that we have, that dream that we have, and not going for it. And comparison is one of those things. And so we're going to remove those barriers today. And I'm going to show you why you ought not to compare no more. All right, so comparison, what is this thing? You know, here I've got two airplanes. Yep. Look, you'll notice they have the same design. They're the same color, and they have the same creator, which is me. Now, looking at them, they look the same, don't they? So technically, when I throw these planes, they ought to land in the same place, shouldn't they? Well, I got my friend Jaden, one of my neighbors. We put together a video and we want to show you, is that the case? Hey there, I'm Alison Springer, and we are going to do an experiment today. Here I got my neighbor friend, Jaden.
Hi.
And he's got these airplanes now. See, I created those airplanes. They look the same, don't they? Yes, they do. Show them off, Jaden. Little tip. Yep, there they are. They're the same. Now, when he throws them, Jaden's going to throw them. We're going to see if these planes land the same, okay? So they look the same. They have the same maker, which is me. And they look the same, okay? So he's gonna throw one with his right hand first, and then I'll hold this, Jaden.
Okay.
He's gonna keep his arm the same. We're gonna wait for the wind to pass a little bit. Okay, I think we are ready. Let's see where it lands. Okay, he's keeping his hand to the same place. And plane number 2, here it goes. Let's see if it lands in the exact same spot. Oh, it doesn't. What is that? Thanks, Jaden.
You're welcome.
So what happened there? How come they didn't land in the same place, even though they look the same? Here's the scoop. Even though they look the same, they're made of the same, they got the same color, same blueprint I used to make them, they're not exactly the same. The slightest difference in the fold is going to cause these planes to land someplace different. One did a loop-de-loo and one went straight down. And it's because they're not the same. You know, sometimes we're compared with family members. You might have the same last name as the people in your family, and people are often comparing you with one another. But are you the same? No, you're not. And so you're going to end up someplace different. You're not going to be just like your mom, just like your dad, just like your brother, your sister. Others of you might even kind of share the same DNA. You might have an identical twin sibling. Are you the same? Now, I know you're not. And so to compare with each other and expect you to end up in the same place is inaccurate. Now, maybe it's abilities that you are compared with. You might have, the same speed ability as somebody else in your class, or someone that used to go to the school, or some other athlete, and people are constantly comparing your jump shot with somebody else. Again, your path is going to be very different from that person because you are different. And so you can't compare yourself with any of your siblings or those that are around you. Your journey is going to look different. You may do some cool loop-de-loos or not. And that's okay because you're different. The definition of success is doing the best with what you're created with. That's how I define it. I'm going to say it again, okay? Success is defined with doing the best with what you are created with. Doing the best with what you're created with. Okay, so here's another illustration. Let's say you struggle with math. Okay, I know some of you are like, what? I do not. And others of you are like, oh yeah, it's true. Come on, preach now. I know. I feel you. Okay, but even though maybe it's not math, maybe it's spelling that you struggle with, or perhaps it's, phys ed. Some of you don't like phys ed. You just hate that stuff. Okay. And so whatever it might be, but there's a lot of people that struggle with math. And so we're just going to use this as an illustration. Okay. So let's say, imagine that you struggle with math, and just the way that you are wired, your brain has the capacity and the ability to get 67%. Okay. I know some of you are like, oh man, I'd be in deep trouble if that was the case. Just imagine with me. All right. Okay. So you have the ability to get 67%. And that's with tutoring. That's with helping and coaching. Your brain at its best in math has the ability to get 67%. Now in other subjects, it would be completely different. You would expect nothing but higher, nothing but greater. But when it comes to math, that's your ability. Okay. That's you. Now, as for me, I have the ability to get 110%. You're like, 110? I know. It's, how in math class sometimes they would have like those extra problems, and if you could solve it, then you get bonus marks. Okay, right? Okay. Let's just say, now between you and me, this is definitely not reality. I was the 67 student, okay? But I like playing this position just for a moment. Bear with me, all right? So I have the ability to get 110% in math, okay? From doing problems, all that kind of stuff. Now, the tests get handed back. You get your mark. You see, now on your last test, you managed to get 62, but this time the test is handed back and you look at it and your mark says 67%. All right? Okay, that's what you got. Now I come over and I'm like, hey, what's up? What'd you get? What'd you get? And you're like, I got 67%. And I'm like, oh, that's all right. That's all right. And I'm like, but I got 78. I got 78%. All right. Okay. So that's what will happen. Now, question, between you and me, who succeeded? You with your 67% or me with my 78%? Who did well? Okay, now if you're saying me, I want you to know that that's the way that society, people externally, that's the way people have viewed things. Looking at comparison, that's what you're going to do. You're going to compare those marks. Your 67 with my 78. But again, I'm going to say this. Comparison is an inaccurate measuring tool. It is. Because I have the ability of getting 110%. Did I live up to my best? Again, the definition of success is doing the best with what you're created with. Did I do my best? No. Did you do your best? Yes, you did. And this is a bit of a problem that happens sometimes at school when we're just externally comparing. See, in class, you can't cut open somebody's brain and see what their abilities are and what they can and cannot do. I can't look at your brain and see what ability you have. And so we tend to just look at the actual numbers and such. and then feel down about ourselves. But really, in this situation, who should be celebrating? Who should be doing a dance of joy? You, with your 67%, should be celebrating. But too often in class, you're the one that would feel down. Now, that's just in a class setting, but this applies to other things as well, whether it's a dance competition or a piano music recital, or a competition competing. Maybe you're playing an individual sport or you're an athlete or something like that, and you're comparing yourself with other people. It's an inaccurate measuring tool because you can't see those things. You can't see those things in other people. It's like comparing broccoli with pineapples. Can you do that? No, that's ridiculous. Pineapple all the way. Oh no, but I love my broccoli. But when you put the two together, you just can't compare them. And you can't compare yourself with other people. And all we ask is for you to do your best with what you've been given. I had a friend in high school, and actually I knew her since elementary, and she was my best friend. And oftentimes I would compare myself with her. She was perfect. And when I say perfect, you go, like, seriously, I mean, she was perfect. She was color coordinated. She would wear like a red shirt like this, and then a white vest, black pants. And she'd wear 2 pairs of socks, one red and then one white over top, and then scrunch them down, and she'd see the red, white. Like, she was so coordinated. And the teachers loved her. She was a straight A student. She was well behaved. Everybody loved my best friend. They loved her. And for me, standing up with her, man, I was like a mascot. I was just awkward, weird. My friend, she was morally right too. I'll just be honest. Like, she was so good. There were people I didn't like, and I told them what I thought about them. And then my friend, she would be like, she wouldn't even say anything. Anytime I lied or did something messed up, she'd just look, wouldn't say a word, and just walk away. And then all of a sudden, deep conviction would fill my soul. I'm like, I'm nothing. Seriously, she was perfect in so many ways, and I don't say that lightly. She was a teacher's pet, and I was not. That's all I'm going to say. She did well academically in every subject, and I did not. And I so wanted to be like her. You know what? In grade 10, I came to school dressed up like her. I know. I had it bad, people. I had it very bad. Like, we had this, and this would have been back like in the 80s, 90s, like 90s. And so the clothes weren't that great. But anyways, so I came dressed to school just like her. And she was wearing the same outfit. And people were like, what is going on? I share that because I was striving and trying to be so much like her. And you know what the best thing that happened in my life was? The day that my best friend moved away. It was tragic for me. I felt it, but it was so good for me. And I didn't realize it then. But when I look back, I can see it because I was trying to be her. And as a result, when she left, then I had to take time to discover who I was, develop my personality, who I was outside of her, and discover like my love for sports, speaking. I was a completely different person. There was a reason why I was awkward, so I could speak and entertain people. And that I had to develop. And for you all, who are you trying to compare yourself with? Who are you trying to be like? Is there somebody that you've been modeling? And for some of you, it might be a celebrity that you are trying to be like. But here's the problem. If you are trying to be them, then who's being you? I seriously believe that in society, everybody has a role. There's a reason why you've been put here on planet Earth. You're not an accident. You're not. There's a purpose that you fulfill that nobody else can. All of these incredible speakers that you've heard thus far and will be continuing to hear, we all have different giftings and abilities, but there's something that you bring that we can't. And we need you to be you and do and specialize in you. So I encourage you, compare no more. Now, So if comparison is an inaccurate measuring tool, then what is an accurate measuring tool? I play a lot of sports. I coached and played basketball and volleyball for a number of years, and I usually like playing team sports. But I come from a track family, and I did get involved in some track and field when I was in high school. And one of the things that I loved about track and field, and something that they have, is something called PB. Have you heard of that before? I know some of you are like, peanut butter? No, not peanut butter. In track and field, it's the thing that people attain for. It's what they strive for. And it's called personal best. If you're involved in any speed sports, you'll be familiar with personal best. Basically what happens, and this is what I love about it, is that, you can watch the Olympics and watch somebody, a marathon, or even someone doing a 400-meter run. No matter what position they come in, whether it's fourth or last, the moment they cross the finish line, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to look up or check their arm and check the time. What's my time? What's my time? And what is it that they're trying to beat? They're trying to beat their personal best running time, their speed. Now, when you're going for PB, who is it that you are comparing yourself to? You. You're comparing yourself with you. That is a more accurate measuring tool. You're not comparing yourself with others with different abilities than you. You're just competing against yourself. And so what does this look like in a school setting? And this is something that has helped me, and I want it to be an encouragement to you. So something that I've done is what it looks like is when you get a test, and you've got your marks this year or whatever. And so say you've got 73. In the next test, you're going to go for your personal best, 75. If that's your best, you look at your marks, your overall marks. What is the best that you've ever gotten? That's what you're competing against, yourself with yourself. You're comparing with you alone and then trying to beat that. And when you do, celebrate. Come on, you're worthy of it. No matter how the rest of the class does, same thing when it comes to your dance competition or recital, whatever. You're just beating your best record, okay? That's PB. Now, there's also another terminology used in track and field, and it is SB, and it stands for seasonal best. Seasonal best happens because sometimes there's seasons in your life where you can't beat your PB. Maybe you had an injury last year, and so now you're trying to recover and get back and to attain your personal best is hard to do. Or sometimes when you're running, you might have a headwind. And so that's slowing you down because you're going against the wind. Then you're going for, in this season, this has been my best. Y'all, I believe that this is so key for us right now in this season of COVID. There's some of you that you've beaten yourself up so hard. You're a perfectionist. You're one that has been striving and you're trying to attain your best, and you know what marks you need in order to get into university and all that kind of stuff. Or maybe you're feeling pressure from your parents or family. Whatever your story is, this year has been different, very different. And some of you are still trying to beat your PB. But a pandemic, you being in school, then back online, in school, back online. Is that going to affect your performance? Yes. If you're struggling with mental health issues because you're isolated from your friends, will that affect your performance? Yes. If you're having relationship problems, maybe because everybody's stuck inside, maybe there's a lot of arguing that's taking place in your home and it's not really safe anymore. Is that going to affect your performance? Yes. And so instead of beating yourself up and getting down on yourself, this year, you're going to go for your SB, your seasonal best. In this season, what is my best? And that's what you are going to celebrate because you are worthy of it. You know what? You are good. You are worthy. You're still in this race. You haven't been disqualified. And I say this because sometimes we're here on leadership stuff and we're like, yeah. But when we put our heads on our pillow at night, we're very aware of the areas where we're not succeeding, where we're not doing well, and where we feel like a failure. And some of you might feel like a bit of an imposter being here on the student leadership thing because there's some areas that are lacking in your life that you're struggling with. I want you to know that it's okay. There's been no referee that's like, aha, I see you. Get out of here. Come here. And pulling you out. No, you're not disqualified. You're still in the race. You're still in the game. Keep running. Go for your PB if you can. If you can't, go for your seasonal best. And bottom line, compare no more.